Okay, right. Hopefully that is all set up correct and is all hunky-dory. So, hello, and today, I thought, you know what, I was going to do this tomorrow, but I thought I might as well just do it today. And I'm just going to talk about my final thoughts and stuff I may have actually forgot about or skipped out on the Doctor Who B&M sets for October 2020. So, yeah, I have done reviews on all of these, so if you missed out on those, then you can go check those out. But other than that, yeah, here we are. And I'll just wait for give it a second for people to join it, because I literally just did this randomly out of the blue because YouTube's a dick like that, and I'll just let you immediately start live streaming. So yeah, but what I'll say first of all is that obviously if your B&M doesn't have them yet, they will get them. Oh god, Apocalypse. They will be getting them within the next couple of weeks or so. My advice on that is, and this is what I do actually, is you can't actually ring up at the minute, at least not the ones in my area. It will actually not let you get through to the actual store. So what I do is go into the store, ask them, will you be able to tell me when you are getting a delivery in for this, and give them the product code. And generally, if it's a nice member of staff, then they will just check and say, yep, we're getting a delivery on this date at this time, well, on this date anyway. So that's how you can find out. I mean, that's how I found out when my local one was getting the companions of the 3rd and 4th Doctor set and the Terror of the Zygons unit set. So yeah. And also, just I am pretty sad about this because I actually know when my local B&M actually gets its deliveries in. Yes, I am that bloody sad. So, hey ho, here we go. So, hello everyone. Yes, when I say B&M sets, it does sometimes sound like I'm saying B&M sex. I know. But yeah, a couple of things. One thing actually immediately I forgot to mention when I was reviewing it was that the 4th Doctor's tartan scarf from the unit set, it's actually only painted on one side. It's not painted on both. To be honest, it doesn't really matter that much on this one. It would be nice if it was painted on both, but the fact is that generally it's unlike the regular scarf, which, goes all the way down to his feet, this one doesn't hang down that much, so, to be honest, you have to physically pull it out of the way in order to notice something like that, otherwise it's not really noticeable most of the time, so, yeah, I think, so I kind of, forgive it on that part, and I can confirm that the head is removable because, well, it's a Tom Baker body, so if you want to put on the, regular Tom Baker heads, then by all means you can do that, or simply just to remove the scarf. If you want to do that, then yeah, that's easily done, so there's no problem in doing that. I'll quickly answer this question actually while it's here. CCV says, any ideas for new figures? Actually, if you go on the Doctor Who merchandise page right now, they actually have a competition to win a Jungles of Mechanus set. And all you have to do is actually think of a figure set of 2 to 4 figures that you would like to be released. Now, as your dream set. Now, for me, what my entry was, is I decided, and this is something I would like to see, is a Terra Firma set. Because we know that character have the license to do Big Finish figures, and it would be nice to have an Emperor Davros with a 6 skis Dalek, basically a Troughton Dalek, essentially, but with the oval in the middle. because on the cover for that they actually used Product Enterprise Daleks and photoshopped the eyes. And the Emperor Davros is actually silver because they, again, photoshopped that. In fact, I don't know if it was photoshopped or they just did it completely with CGI. I can't remember. It was early days for Big Finish, so it could be either or. But basically, that's with maybe an 8th Doctor or even a Charlie Pollard if they're able to pull it off. Will that ever happen? Nah, probably not. Probably not. But you know, as a dream set, that would be something nice that they could do later in the line. But yeah, those Dalek sets. Basically, when I went into my B&M today, when I actually got the History of the Daleks set 3 and 4 and the TARDIS, I went in today and they had none of those. They completely sold out of those. I mean, when I went in there yesterday, I literally grabbed one of each, basically one lot for me and one lot for my brother, and then went. So yeah, they're gone. But as I say, you know, they will be getting them more in them in. I did actually ask, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're getting 50 more of each of them in at some point next week." So yeah, it just depends whether the warehouse in your area has actually got the delivery in. So it kind of just depends. You know, if you live more in a city centre, then you're more likely to get them first. So all I can say is just be persistent with stuff like that, and then you know you get to reap the rewards. Alium. Interestingly, actually, my B&M still has Silver Nemesis sets and 2 Doctors sets, which is tempting to buy more than them. I think I've got enough Silver Nemesis sets for now. I'm literally just playing with Daleks around me. Just like, ooh. Some people have fidget toys, fidget spinners. I literally just have Daleks around me that I literally just fiddle with and play with. Because, you know, I'm only 5 at heart. So yeah, but something I've been thinking about doing is obviously swapping eye stalks, and I'm hoping on Black Friday that some of the sets, you know, go down in price. Now the History of the Daleks sets 1 and 2 are becoming a little bit harder to get now. Some obviously you can still find them if you look hard enough out there, but generally, you know, they're starting to, you know, have less and less of them in the stores. Generally, all the other sets that they had, you can pretty much find them in nearly any B&M, at least from my experience. But if you haven't got History of the Daleks set 1 or 2, and you're even considering it, I would go out and get it now. Because, you know, I think they've ceased production of them. So, whatever stores have in now is more likely going to be the last. Excuse me. I've just had bolognese. So basically, if you're gonna get that, I suggest getting it now. But I'm basically gonna see what I can do, because literally the shoulder section of the Daleks, like literally looking at it, is far too light. It's basically, you know, more like an off-white colour. It's kind of like the colour white that they show in the bloody Vanish adverts, rather than, you know, being a grey colour. And literally, I don't know why. And I'm tempted to actually just literally swap the domes with my original Chase Daleks. It's interesting. The problem is also customize makes it a little bit harder. The fact that I don't know why they did this. The flamethrower Dalek. Why have they gave it hemispheres so fucking light? Like literally, why? It makes no logistic sense. And Captain, you know, Alduar, he knows that it shouldn't be that. He knows, because they got it right with literally every other 60s Dalek release. They always, like, basic shit like that they got right. And it's just, I hate the fact that he always insists on having variants for the sake of having a fucking variant, even if that variant does not actually exist. Last year it was the 7th Doctor with the cream jacket, where they made the jacket far too light. Hey, I'm feeling a bit of deja vu with this one. And this year, with the Dalek midsections and having small pupils in the eyes, which they really bloody shouldn't do. I'm tempted to get some bloody Tipex and do it myself, but I don't like to make. I'm not really a customer. I don't like to make permanent changes to figures. I like to just keep them as is, because I'm one of those collectors. But anyway, I'll take a break from saying what I'm saying and I'll go to the chat, because normally I just completely ignore the chat and then everything goes off our hands. So we'll get back to that. Sorry, I'm a bit confused with this one. Do you know Humbum guy? What? No, never heard of that. Sorry. I want a Russell T Davies figure. I'd like a Nick Briggs figure. And I'm not even bloody joking. There's technically a way they could do that. They could masquerade him as Peter Hawkins from an Adventure in Space and Time. Or even, as a random character from a Big Finish story, because Nick Briggs plays a lot of random characters in Big Finish stories when he's starring as the Daleks or Cybermen or whatever. The Doctor 11. What's the worst Dalek from the 2 Dalek sets? That's a difficult question to answer, really, because the one that I care the least about, and it's really weird because before I would have cared the most about, the one I care the least about is the Chase Guard. And that's simply because, for me, the Jungles of Mechanus version is just superior in every way. It just is. And it's a bit too soon from that release for me to really get excited or any hype about that. But in terms of the worst figure, every single one of them has faults. Every single figure in these 2 sets have inaccuracies. With the first two History of the Dalek sets, the only inaccuracies I could really find was the Supreme Dalek having, the smaller pupil. And at a pinch, you could say, well, the Daleks from the Daleks shouldn't have the scuffing on the skirt, and it should technically be Dalek 3 that has a bit. Stuff like that, I don't really care about that, but the Supreme Dalek was the only major thing where that annoys me. But this time around, it's just like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Seriously, why? I just can't really fathom why this was. Because it is just such an irritant, because I really wanted to build an army of these, but I don't want an army of them that just looks woefully inaccurate. And because the thing is, it's one thing if, they got it wrong before so many times, but the fact is, they got it bloody right before. All the elements were there. Literally, all the elements were there for them to, massively succeed with these. And have, the most accurate Chase Dalek, the most accurate Flamethrower Dalek, and they just missed it. And it's just like, seriously, how the fuck did that happen? Like, why? I don't understand why this happened. And the problem is, if you try and ask Al Dewar anything like that, he'll just ignore you or block you. And it's just like, come on, why have you done this? I really don't understand why. Because the thing is, I know, he likes each figure to be unique from the other, but the thing is, it's just like, there's a point of just like, okay, but it should still be accurate to the actual thing. If you want to do slight variations with each Dalek, that's fine. Because there are variants of each Dalek in pretty much every Dalek story. Because, the props weren't 100% identical. So, and they've done that in the past. They've done that in the past where, take Destiny of the Daleks. You've got a Dalek without any black slacks or black bands, and then you got one with the black slacks and the black bands around it. So it's just like, can be done. So it's just like, why have you done this? It doesn't make any sense why this has happened. And the thing is, this puts people off them. I literally had someone saying, "Oh, I don't really care about the Daleks. Just like the TARDIS is interesting, but the Daleks, and I asked them why. It's just like because the inaccuracies. And the thing is, it's so annoying, especially to army builders. Like I've only got a few Chase Daleks. Initially, the original Forbidden Planet ones, and it would have been nice, to put them alongside the newly released ones. Yes, the Dome Likes, would be off and the eye would be off, but it would be nice to have an army of them. But now you can't really do that, because I think that section just looks far too noticeable. It just does. The colour of it just looks far too noticeable. I think the colour of the MiG section annoys me more than the incorrect eye stalks of the original Chase Daleks. Because it just stands out so much more. It just goes. You can't be angry at the original Chase Daleks having the incorrect dome lights, because the Egg Cup ones didn't exist at the time, and they put all their money into making the Mechanus figure. Not Mechanus, the Mechanoid figure, so yeah, basically new dome lights. Nah, the two Daleks were cheaper to do, but this time around, was it, I don't know how many years later it is now, they just fuck it up again. So, yeah. And I've just seen a load of retracted messages that I just completely missed, because I went on a bit of a tangent there. I tend to do that, but yeah, it's just annoying that they did that, and they were so close to it, so bloody close. And yet they fuck it up last minute. And I know the argument is, oh, well, you can paint it up to fix it, but you shouldn't fucking have to. You shouldn't have to. That's like going into a restaurant, your food is cold, and people just say, well, you can heat it up yourself. No. No, if you pay for something, then there you go. There's a whole argument, beggars can't be choosers, but the thing is, I'm not a beggar. I went and fucking paid for this thing. So, that's just how that is just how it is. And don't get me wrong, I do like them. I do still like them. I am happy that they are there, but oh god, it just irks me like you wouldn't believe. Just the irritants of it. I mean, even my brother who, is much more of a casual fan, though he has started buying the figures again, he literally opened it and goes, and went to me, why is the MiG section white? That's literally the first thing he did when he opened his. So if he can notice it, being pretty much more of a casual fan, fucking hell, collect it. The collector's market. Because the thing is, the whole thing is collector's market. That is their biggest, percentage. Because I've never seen a kid in years go and buy a Doctor Who anything in a shop. I see collectors in there sometimes, adult collectors who, in their 20s, 30s and upwards buy them, but never see a kid anymore, so you can't make that argument. I mean, they tried to release the kid-friendly stuff before. They tried with the 3 3/4 inch, and then they tried again with the bloody Jodie Whittaker doll. That didn't work. So all they can do now is just focus on the collector stuff. The thing is, collectors care about things like that. They care about accuracy. They care about quality control and stuff like that. I noticed that the eyes were either really stiff or really loose on these Daleks. It was weird. For example, my regular Chase Dalek has a fairly loose eye, but the Chase Guard in the same set has a really stiff eye in it as well. It's a bit weird. There is a way you can actually solve that, and that is if you take the dome off and then take the little panel off that holds the eye in, and you stick a bit of blue tack on the underside of that. That'll actually give it a bit of friction and stop it from being so loose. So if that is the case with your one, then that is a way you can fix it, basically. The only other way, really, you could fix it is by basically getting a larger rod that goes through the eye, a slightly larger metal rod, though then again, maybe that isn't the case. I've also noticed the way some of these Daleks come out of the moulding. Some of them have some obvious moulding lines, and yet other ones don't. The regular Chase Dalek does have a few lines of where it's around the skirt where it's clearly come out of the moulding, whereas other Daleks in the same set, like again the Chase Guard Dalek, don't, which is really weird. Again, it's a little bit hit and miss. I mean, it just depends which mould, which batch of the moulds and that we use and that. But yeah, it's just a bit weird with that. I'm assuming it is just, apart from the course, really, unfortunately. Anyway, I've went on enough with that one, so I'll answer a few more questions. Yeah. Variants are good. Variants are only good if they are actual variants that appeared. But variants for the sake of variants, nah. No, you can have all the variants you like, but if it's something that wasn't on screen, or I should say in audio, Big Finish, you can have a bit of leeway there. But if it wasn't on screen, if it's something completely just made up, no. In which case you'll have to call it something else. Because otherwise it's not from that story. And, normally I think the reason I'm making more of a big deal about the Daleks is the fact is that literally everything is literally they had all the tools there to make these the most accurate, Daleks that they could. And they didn't. It just flabbergasted me. And also the fact that such a big deal is made about, these are supposed to be as accurate as possible to the props. Yet for the most part, a lot of the original releases were more accurate. The Toys R Us Supreme Dalek is lightning's more accurate because of it. And in fact, that's also why I've put the black and white picture, just so you can see the original releases and how they look in black and white and how off they look in comparison. Yeah. Anyway, the monsters are monsters. Do you still feel annoyed of the big syndication on three of these new Dalek sets with the white colour? I think I've already answered that. Yeah. Monsters again. I'm hoping for the next two sets we have them a lot more accurate and get rid of that white midsection and we snap out of the small pupil in the 70s and 80s and the Evil Daleks. Yeah. So, Power of the Daleks. That is the last time you are ever allowed to use that fucking small pupil. Okay? I mean, to be honest, it shouldn't have been on any of the others apart from the Daleks from the Daleks. Power and the Daleks. They're the only two you're allowed to do that small bloody pupil on. After that, never a fucking again will you do that, okay? Please don't. Please fucking don't. And in terms of 70s eye stalks, no. No. Leave those fucking pupils alone in the 70s eye stalks. Just leave them alone. Alright? I mean, in terms of power, there's obviously the mutant scoop, which everyone goes on about. Whether that'll happen, I don't know. I'm hoping, but there's doubts in my mind. I mean, they could have done a Perceptor Dalek, but they haven't, so who knows. But the mutant scoop possibility. But if not, then you'll probably have a standard Dalek and then a power Dalek without the gun. Essentially, that is literally it. And then for evil, we'll get another Emperor's Guard, no doubt. And then, who knows, possibly Alpha, Beta, Omega Dalek, or possibly a Dalek that has the pupil in it for evil. So, yeah, but in terms of everything else, literally just like these Dalek sects should be the easiest sects for Alderaan to plan out, because literally just re-release them. And I know you think you want to do varying things. I don't know if in your head, I don't know if in Alderaan's head he thinks people won't buy the same thing twice. Are you bloody joking? Like, seriously, Dalek collectors generally like to army build. I like to army build my Daleks. I'll buy loads of them. I'll buy as many as I can possibly afford. So yes, people will buy them, especially when a lot of them are Forbidden Planet exclusives that people were unable to get in the first place. So there we go. I mean, to this day, the Imperial Dalek has only had 2 releases, technically, and they were both Forbidden Planet exclusives. So, that has never had any standard variant. So, just like something like that. Anyway. Only mentioning this as I believe 1 or 2 were given to the Knight. Yeah, the small pupil. Now, to be honest, don't start giving fucking Alderaan ideas in terms of that. Alright, I'd much rather them just leave them alone. Because all the ice sculpts, all the sculpts, they basically have everything they need on the table. They literally just have everything they need on the table, so they don't need to do anything with that. Just literally, pretty much just re-release it and make sure all the pin-ups are correct and that, and make it sure that is literally just the best version that it is. Essentially, that is literally the only thing you can really do. Essentially, just make sure it is the best version that it is. Make sure it's as accurate as it is. And if it is, guess what? You'll sell more of them. You'll sell more of them, because even then, if people weren't planning on buying them, who had the originals, who were thinking on skipping it, will probably buy it if it's an improved version. But if it's not, then you're not going to convince the people who already have the original version as much as you would have done otherwise. I mean, this is literally just basic shit, and I don't understand why this is just a thing. Why is this a thing? And there is a bird chirping outside the window. Okay. Monks of Monks says, but I'm against this as well, but as I believe they will just stop the Genesis Scout or whatever I stalk, and the 60 side can call it a day. Toss, I don't think they'll give it a Genesis eye stalk. Because the eye stalks, the way that they're done now, is a bit different to how they used to be done. In terms of the smaller pupil ones, they're not actually painted; they're printed on there. They are not painted on; they actually are printed on. So that's why something like that is a bit different to how it used to be. They're printed onto the eyes, with the smaller pupil anyway. The larger one, not too sure. But the smaller pupils are printed on, not painted on. So, basically, the Evil of the Daleks with, the big black pupil, if they do decide to do that, I reckon they'll probably just use the regular eye stalk and print it on. Possibly. I mean, they might use a 70s eye. They might use a 70s eye stalk, but I don't know, they might just print it on. I don't know. We'll wait to see. They might not bother doing that at all. Possibly. It would be nice if we did get a fully accurate Emperor's Guard figure, because we're nearly there with it. In fact, you could technically make a fully accurate one if you remove the eye of the B&M version. Not the original release, but the B&M version, because the B&M version has the rod through the eye, and then swap it with the Toys R Us one. And it has to be that one, because the original release, the eye is just removable, whereas the B&M version has the rod through the eye. So yeah, that's basically EX with that. So yeah, I guess as well. Okay, I think I've said all in that regard about that. TARDISes, stop putting. Literally, stop damaging your own product in its packaging, character. Now, I'm saying character because this is when I say this is be character's decision, not Aldebar's. So, this I will not blame him for because he most likely will have nothing to do with it. But character, please stop damaging, or should I say, warping your own products in their own packaging. Because the thing is, if the packaging damages the product, like the packaging's number one, purpose in life is to basically protect the product. That is literally its main purpose. There are obviously other purposes to show it off and everything like that, but the packaging's number one priority is to protect the figures. And if the packaging is damaging the figures, or should I say the TARDIS in this case, then you've got a problem. You've got a problem. And the thing is, it's weird because in the past few years I've seen characters slimming down their packaging quite a bit. I remember when literally everything used to have about 50 twist ties in them, and everything was sellotaped down. But in the past few years, they've been minimising it down a lot more. They've realised that, hey, this packaging, is moulded and that, and it keeps the figures in fine. Same with the Daleks, they're no longer sellotaped down anymore. It's just a single twist tie, and that's it. The rest is just held in by force of the packaging. Now, with the Fifth Doctor's TARDIS, it's a little bit interesting, is that the Fifth Doctor's TARDIS, the lantern actually touches the top of the box. It actually touches it. So what they've done is actually added a plastic film round the top of the cardboard of the box, so that the lantern isn't rubbing against the cardboard. So that is a little bit of an issue there. Or at least could be. It isn't on my one, but it could be on others. But yeah, the main issue is the doors. Oh god. First we had the side posts being warped by shoving plastic through them. And then we had the sellotape going around the outside, going around the inside of the doors, and then pulling outwards. It's just, why? Like, if you must put a piece of sellotape on, which you really don't need to, but if you insist on putting bloody sellotape on there, then just put a single piece of or two, okay, I'll be fair, two strips of sellotape just round the outside of the doors. That's it, just round the outside of the doors. And then there you go, call it a day. Call it a day. That's it. That's actually it. That's all you need to do. Just leave it at that. Or just don't have any on it at all. And the fact that they're screwed into the base. I mean, fine. That doesn't interfere with anything. It's just a fucking irritants. But okay, if you're gonna have them screwed in the base, then fine. But everything else, just like, why? It's just like, why? And that sellotape is really fucking annoying to get off as well. And it leaves a residue on there as well, which I then have to bloody take an antibacterial wipe to and wipe off. Spend 5 minutes rubbing that off, so yeah, it's cool. Because the thing is, everything else about these B&M TARDISes, they have improved over time. They have improved. They no longer, have that cheaper feeling now. They feel a lot better, more substantial. Even though they are made of the same stuff, the weathering and the washes that they add to it are a lot better than they initially were. It's just a shame that the bloody packaging is damaging it. And the thing is, it's hard to really tell when it's in the box how warped the doors are. It's only when you open it, and that's when you really see how warped the doors actually are. And it does, obviously, stuff like that does vary from one to one. I know a few people who say, "Oh, my doors aren't warped. That means they're not an issue." It's like, no, that just means you're being extremely lucky. But yeah, just stuff like that. You know, just stop damaging your the product and the packaging character. Seriously, I've never had stuff like this before, where literally the packaging is actively damaging the product, which is just bizarre. Anyway, Doctor Spring says, "Hello, sorry I'm late. No bother. You've all you've missed is me having several rants. So, hey ho, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Yeah, TARDIS. Now 3 packs. This year, the 3 packs. It is good that we've had this year. Depending on how you look at it, we've either had 5 or 7 new head sculpts, depending on how you look at it. Because the Yaz and the Rhine figure were again technically already made because they were planned to be in another set, a retail one, but they couldn't get retailers interested, so that's why they ended up in B&M. So yeah, that's why you can argue it that way. But literally the only monster we have had this year, obviously apart from the Daleks, is a Gagoon Trooper. And the thing is, there was the key opportunity to do a Zygon figure in the Unit Zygon set. I'll be honest, I think they should have just called it the Terror of the Zygon set and had a Zygon re-release. Or should I say Broton, technically, re-release. Because that would have been much nicer than having Mikey X with bloody shit on his face. Yeah, that's just my opinion on that. And, the new head sculpt for the 4th Doctor, I mean, it's better than I initially thought it was in the initial pictures, but also, part of me just thinks you went to that effort to making a new head for the 4th Doctor that literally can only be used with that figure. Like, literally, you can't really do any other variants for that one. So I'm just thinking, out of all the things you could have made, why make that? If you were going to, if you only had so much of a budget for new head sculpts, why do that one? It just didn't make sense. Yeah, in terms of that. And, just like another bloody companions of the 13th Doctor set, or friends of the 13th Doctor set, because, shit like that. Despite what I may think, and despite what some people may think, the Friends for the 13th Doctor set sold the least by a massive long shot. Like, literally, the B&M I went in, there is 3 fucking shelves of those. Not just areas, 3 fucking shelves of them just stacked in there that they just haven't been able to sell. That is going to be... I reckon that is, and I said it before, that is going to be the 9th Doctor set for this year. Like, if for those who don't remember, in 2016, there was a 9th Doctor set. But the 9th Doctor, the original rules were released in an Auton. And that thing remained into B&M. In fact, one of the B&Ms in my area had it all the way up until bloody late 2019. I just couldn't get rid of them. So, yeah, that is just going to be a shelf sitter, essentially. Shelf filler. I can't remember what you call it. And, maybe people might be convinced by the Bradley Walsh, but I doubt it, because the Bradley Walsh figure was actually reduced to $350 at Argos, as well as all of the other Series 12 merchandise, and even the 13th Doctor Sonic. So, I think everyone who wanted that It's because they got it and for a minor paint revision. Yeah, not really something massive in my eyes. I mean, obviously the companions of the third and fourth Doctor set is just repaints. But, you know, they are different enough. They're not just slight repaints, they are full-on, you know, repaints, like, you know, clearly new variants. Like, if you had them both side by side, it would be obvious to anyone that they'd be different. They're not just like a slight little variant, they are majorly. So, yeah. That's why I have my opinion on that. So, now the question is, when will we be getting the 12th Doctor and Davros set and the Ace and Imperial Dalek sets? Because initially we thought the rumour was only partly true. But the thing is, thanks to Alderar confirming that the Visitation set was originally dubbed the Castrovalva set, but then changed to the Visitation set. The question is, where are those sets? And my theory is, they're going to be character online exclusives. They're going to be character online exclusives. It just makes the most amount of sense, generally, for them to be character online exclusives. And in predictions on when they'll come, I think if they don't come by November, you know, if there's no announcement by November, then I would say they're probably coming next year, because they'll want to get stuff like that out before Christmas. And in terms of pricing, I'd like to say they better not be £25. 2 Daleks on characters' website that have new dome lights for £25. Okay, I can see where the money's gone in there. A little bit more expensive than a B&M set, but B&M can afford to make the price a bit cheaper, because obviously with B&M they buy thousands and thousands more than they would sell on character, and they would sell more. So, and B&M, you know, can afford to make the price a bit cheaper because they'll sell more volume. However, literally for a, you know, Davros and the 12th Doctor, that's not 2 Daleks, so that should be £20. The only reason I would say could justify that being 25 is if they made a new head sculpt for Julian Bleach's Davros from The Magician's Apprentice. If they made a new head sculpt, then okay, I can see why that would be. Also, it would be nice if they gave it the more metallic looking finish that his chair has in that story. Same thing for Ace. Now, if it's Ace and a destroyed Imperial Dalek with the rocket launcher, yeah, that should be £20. That should be £20. Okay? Now, again, if it's a regular Imperial Dalek, which I doubt it, I sincerely doubt it, but if it's a regular, you know, Imperial Dalek with Ace, she has the rocket launcher, the baseball bat, the backpack, basically all the accessories that the original Remembrance Ace had, including the swappable arms, then okay, £25, yeah, that's fair for that. But otherwise, you know, I think that's a bit much. And also, they should, since they were announced at the same time, well, I say announced, leaked as part of the same time, I'm assuming they're going to be released at the same time. It would make sense for them to do that. For one, generally, it'll just make more sense to do that because you have to spend £25 to get free delivery. They obviously want to encourage people to buy more. Now, with the Jungles of Mechanus set, generally they knew people were going to army build these, so, you know, that crafty thing of making it a penny under free delivery, well, it didn't really matter because most people would be buying at least 2 anyway. But with these, yeah, you're not going to have an army of Davroses or an army of destroyed Imperials, really. I mean, at the most you would have 3, really, because, you know, you can't really do a lot with them. They're more just scenery more than anything else. So yeah, we'll see. we'll see with that. I mean, who knows? It might be a complete surprise, and they might release them at B&M. But part of me doubts it. Part of me thinks that they probably will come out, maybe at some point. But I don't know. They were leaked on a US website, so maybe they will come out at B&M. But I don't know. I mean, there is also the possibility that they have been cancelled, but it seems unlikely. It seems unlikely when everything else has been correct so far. So, but then again, plans can change, especially in the world we're living at the minute. You know, things can change very, very easily like that. Anyway, I noticed there's some more stuff in the chat, so I'll go back to that. So, Doctorus Prime. Did you see my replay in regards to going to B&M stores and asking when I've got back? No, I didn't see. I didn't see that. No. As just I don't generally go watch stuff like that personally, just because I know B&M stores like the back of my hand, so I know basically what every conversation would be like in them. I mean, I am lucky generally because for the area that I live in, like there are I live in Newcastle in the northeast of England, so there are fucking tons of B&M stores around me. So literally, if one doesn't have them, I can go to the other. Though I always know which one is gonna get them first. So yeah. But I mean, generally they would get them around the same time. So yeah. Very relaxed thanks to that. Doctor's Fine also says, I was actually quite surprised that you got the set 4 days early. Well, the thing is, I always get them early, technically, because I always get them literally, apart from like one occasion, I literally always get them early. Because I know, because the thing is, they always say, oh yeah, the sets are coming out on a Monday. But I know for a fact the B&M stores in my area do not put new stock out on a Monday. They don't get a new delivery on a Monday. So the new sets couldn't come out on a Monday. And B&M Scarf will not keep something behind. Literally, when stock comes in, it just goes out on the shelf. Simple as. So I knew my local B&M got deliveries on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a Tuesday. So I knew it would be one of those days, and I reckoned it would be a Thursday because that's what it was with the sets that came out earlier this year. So yeah, that's generally how I, gave my hypothesis to that, and hey ho, I was correct. The Monksters of Monksters says, I would love it. I would love if it wasn't a destroyed Imperial Dalek. I'd love it to army build them after so long. Yeah. The thing is, though, they will eventually release a regular Imperial Dalek in a remembrance set. They will. It's just inevitable at some point that they will do that. He also says, I wanted them for, I think, around 6 years. Always evaded me, yeah. Dr. Prime says, I'll be right back. Dr. Prime then says, what about the B&M stores in the East Midlands, Lancashire? Do you know when they'll get stock? No, sorry. I've got no idea because I don't go in them, generally. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you when they were getting them. The only way to find out is to literally just go in yourself and just go in and ask. And you might have to ask more than one person, because I remember the first person I asked in B&M yesterday when they were getting a delivery in. She literally turned around to me and said, oh, you'll have to go and ask someone else. And literally just like, you'll have to go and find someone else to go get a product gun and put the code in, even though she was standing right outside the office where they keep the product guns. I know where the office is in that building. Literally right outside the entrance to there. So to that woman who was in that B&M, fuck you, you lazy bitch. And to the other staff member who literally couldn't do enough for me, thank you to you. Also, thank you to my dad, who actually drove me there on both occasions. Yeah, he drove me there during his lunch break yesterday and today, so thank you to him for that. Andy J asks, would you like a job at B&M? To be honest, yes, I would like a job at B&M. If you're B&M, I've just lost train of thought. But I like a job at B&M. Yes, I would. I would like a job at B&M. I mean, to be honest, any job would be nice right now. I've been applying to quite a few jobs in the past few months. The problem is, so have a lot of other people, and literally every job I've applied for so far in the past few months, I've literally had a generic reply back saying, unfortunately, due to the number of volumes of applicants applying for this job, we were unable to look at your application. So basically, if they're not even going to bloody look at your application, then you've got shit out of luck. But yeah, it would be nice to work at a B&M. To be honest, because then I would also get the staff discount on top and know exactly when they're coming in. Dr. Prime says, you read that wrong. It's Lenkle? I don't know. I can't read it out because I can't pronounce it. I'm dyslexic. I can't reading is not my strong point. Reading is not my strong point with this. So yeah, reading's a bit of a no. So if I fuck up when reading any of the comments or any of your names in it, sorry about that. I just don't know. Yeah. Can I read? For the most part, I mean, I can read normally, 85-90% of things, but it's generally just like the odd word here and there that I struggle with. Spelling, I can't spell to save my life. No, you don't need to apologise. You don't need to apologise. I mean, to be honest, I make jokes about me dyslexia all the time. And actually, I remember the last year at my job that I had at the time. One of my colleagues actually made a joke about dyslexia, and my boss said, "Oh, that's really offensive to dyslexic people. A dyslexic person would have punched you in the face." I then stood up and said, "Actually, I'm dyslexic, and that joke was pretty funny." And didn't like that. Funny stuff like that. Yeah. Something I actually wanted to say in this is that I have. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to check this while I'm here. Wake up, AC, wake up. But basically, you might have noticed on my channel that I haven't done a Doctor Who items to unbox in about 2 months or so. I used to do them every month, but now it's been nearly 3 months. And I can confirm I have... Let's see... How much footage is here? I have 2 hours of unseen Doctor Who items to unbox footage of me unboxing Doctor Who things I got on the post. Now, here's the thing. With my if you've never seen my Doctor Who items to unbox videos, basically there's 2 bits to it. There's the bit that the series is named after, where I basically just unbox Doctor Who things that I get in the post that I've generally ordered off eBay and stuff like that. Generally talk about them for a bit. Then there are the skits that are normally at the start and the end of the video. Now, I do know some people only go there for the skits, and some people only go there for the unboxings. What I need to know is what that ratio is. So, for the next Doctor Who items to unbox, whenever I decide to do that, I'll get to your comment in a second, Andy G. But I would like to know, for the next Doctor Who items to unbox, do you guys want me to continue doing the skits, or do you want me to just do the unboxing stuff and nothing else? Basically, don't have the skits in the at the beginning and the end of the video, and just have the unboxing stuff, or do you want the skits in there still? So that's something I would like, to know. And but anyway, since I know there's a bit of delay from when I speak and when this goes out, so I'll read Andy Gay's comment. Why do you like Doctor Who? And the reason I like it, I don't know, I think it's just because it really did capture my imagination, and I think I got into it at the right time. Generally, I got into it when I was very young, because basically I started avidly watching it when I was 6. So when I was 6, basically when the Christopher Eccleston series, was my first proper introduction to it. I had seen a little bit of the Demons before, which I didn't realise until years later. But basically, my family are not into Doctor Who, basically, any of them. The only person who is my brother. But that's mainly because of me, because he grew up with me. And my sister, she does like to watch Doctor Who. She will watch Doctor Who, and she does enjoy watching it. But she's not an avid fan of it. She just, she does like watching it. Mainly just the new series, but she has watched some classic series stories, and she does like that. But I don't know, it just kind of captures my imagination, and just like in my many years of existence, or 21 of them, I've thought of various stories and that, some of which I did actually turn into audios, but there's many others I can think of doing, whether I ever do actually do them. Wow, I don't know, it's just something like that. It's just something I just enjoy watching. I think it's also the performances as well. Like, to be honest, I do. For one, I've always, I've always preferred villains. From whenever I was little, like, for example, I remember when I was 3 years old, I always used to constantly watch 101 Dalmatians. And including the Glenn Close version. And the only reason I would watch them wasn't because I was interested in the cute puppies or anything like that, because I wasn't interested in that. I would watch it for Cruella because I just love villains. It's a saying I've had for a while, but most people, when they're little, they want to be Batman. I wanted to be the Joker when I was little. So it's just stuff like that. I don't know, I'm a bit weird like that. I guess I've always been weird. But generally, I think it's also like Doctor Who has such a variety of monsters and villains that are very, very memorable. I don't really know many other shows that have such a variety and such, iconic villains to them. So it's just, I guess it's something along those lines generally. I mean, obviously the Daleks are my favourite, because of course they are. But generally Daleks are number one in my book. And then I would say number two, it depends. Number two is either the Master or the Cybermen, and the reason I say either is because it depends who the Master is. For example, if it's Roger Delgado, then yeah, number two. But if it was someone like John Sim, then I would be lower down. So it depends who's playing the Master, what position they're in. Yeah. So that's a brief. I think that's a brief, although extremely long, brief summary of why I like Doctor Who. So yeah. The Monks of Monsters. I've never seen your unboxing videos, so I can't really say. Andy Gate asks, have you always collected Doctor Who merchandise? I've basically... Well, at first, when I was little, I used to only just collect the Daleks. It was literally just the Daleks and nothing. Just the Daleks and Cybermen and stuff like and Monsters and nothing else. I wasn't interested in any of the humanoid characters, generally. Like, for example, I just generally just wasn't interested. The point where I came more of an avid collector was when the classic series stuff came out. Basically, 2008 is when I started becoming more of a collector. But it was mainly like the Forbidden Planet box sets was when I really I would say I properly started being a collector. Generally. I mean, to be honest, to this day, I'm still amazed I was able to get all those Dalek 4-packs, to be honest, because at the time when they were coming out, I was only 12, 13 at the time. So I do have to thank my grandparents mainly for paying for them for me, buying them for me. So yeah, I am very grateful to have them. But yeah, I would say then, and generally as the years have gone on, I've become more as a collector. I mean, I don't just collect Doctor Who stuff. If you've ever watched any of my other channels, you know I'm a big collector of cassettes and vinyl records because I love my music. So generally, yeah, and obviously, I always buy whenever Blu-rays come out and that, if it's a film or even obviously the Doctor Who Blu-rays and that, I always go for either the Steelbook or Special Edition or whatever edition. Pay more, just for that. Just have a slightly nicer looking packaging, even though the contents of it of the disc will be the same. And the same with Big Finish. Go spend a bloody fortune on the limited edition stuff. But yeah, I have always generally once you start, you generally just keep going. You do generally just keep going. My brother is a little bit different. He kind of dipped in and out a bit because my brother used to try, and I say try, and collect as much as I did, but he was 5.5 years younger than me. Well, he still is. So, he couldn't afford to get as much as I did. Plus, also, he broke most of his Doctor Who figures because he doesn't take care of them. I would like to say that's something that has changed, but it hasn't really changed much. He doesn't look after anything, generally, so that hasn't really changed much. But thanks to the B&M sets, it was literally last year's sets were the thing that got my brother back into Doctor Who collecting. Literally, it was last year's sets that got my brother into Doctor Who collecting. I mean, for Christmas, he'll be getting his first radio-controlled Product Enterprise Dalek for Christmas. He's getting a Imperial Product Enterprise Dalek radio-controlled for Christmas. So, yeah, that was basically the thing that got him back in to collecting Doctor Who merchandise, generally. So, he has done that to him. It means, something that we can talk about, because generally in real life, in terms of face-to-face appeal, there's generally no one else I can talk to because about it, really, because although I have online friends that I can talk to about it with, in terms of friends face-to-face, no, literally my brother, that is basically it. Although oddly, there's one other person I can talk to about it, and that is my former film studies teacher, who I can talk about it with. Which sounds really weird when you say it like that, but, us Doctor Who fans are weird anyway, so hey-ho, here we go. Yeah. The Monsters of Monsters. says, I love the Product Enterprise radio-controlled Daleks, especially the Imperial ones and the movie ones. Yeah, the Product Enterprise movie Daleks, they are probably my favorite. They are probably my favorite Daleks. I just love them. They're so nice. They are so nice, and especially the infrared ones from the first film are incredibly accurate as well. Generally, there are a couple of minor things here and there, but Product Enterprise, yeah, they didn't have a lot, of budget, but they always put the maximum effort into everything that they ever did. Generally, and a character kind of go up and down and left and right. And I've said this before, but character cannot afford to dip in quality, and I think this year slightly they have. And the thing is, the only person's fault is Alduar, because it's not generally a quality control fault for the most part. It's just making bloody stupid decisions like that. And it's decisions like that that just make me just question, just like, why? Ooh. So my friend Reese has just sent me a picture of some bashed B&M boxes of the new sets. So, yeah, that is not nice. That is just not nice. But, yeah. What I'm also going to do is, I tried calling my brother before. He's literally on his Xbox, so he probably won't answer me. But it would be nice to get him in here, because he actually did get the Dalek sets, and he'll be getting the 5th Doctor TARDIS for Christmas. So it'll be interesting. I'll try and get him here again to see if what he thinks. Goodbye, Doctorus Prime. What I'll do is... yeah, he's probably on his Xbox. So what I might do is I'll literally be back in 30 seconds. I'm going to run over to his room and ask him whether he wants to give his opinion on the sex, because I know last time I did a live stream with him, it actually worked out pretty well. So yeah, I'll be back in 30 seconds. Nathan, I'm streaming. Do you wanna say something on the stream? Busy, are you? He is extremely busy on his bloody Xbox, so... excuse me. Unfortunately, you will not get a word out of him at the minute, so yeah, he can't give his regards on it. Anyway, the monsters are monsters. Let's answer this question. They are not frightfully expensive, especially the micro-talking ones. I find it strange how the price varies. I saw a lot of them, £32 last year. Yeah, the price of Product Enterprise Daleks never stays the same. They are more expensive than when I got them. They are a lot more expensive than when I got mine. And I only basically, for the most part, got most of my Product Enterprise collection back in like 2017, 2018, so not very long ago. And back then they were, very, very cheap. You could, literally most of the RC Daleks were in box for £30 on eBay, so yeah, it's just weird how things have changed. Like that. But, the prices on anything on eBay do fluctuate, but I have noticed that even when they do go down, they don't go down to as low as they used to do, so yeah, it is just a thing of that. I think I'm one of the few people on YouTube to actually reviewed most of the Product Enterprise stuff. I mean, some people might say that I'm partly responsible for it, for making it more aware. I doubt it. Maybe the tiniest bit, but doubt it, to be honest. Monsters and Monsters says CYA. Okay. And Silurian River says, Daddy, okay? Excuse me. And no, I don't have the Rona because sneezing is not part of the Rona. So, it's not a symptom anyway. Actually, something I should say, South Park did a really good quarantine special about COVID that came out literally a couple of days ago. So that is a pretty funny thing on what's happening right now. Anyway, so yeah, product enterprise stuff. Generally the Skynugs were generally pretty good. The only problems with product enterprise stuff was in terms of their electronics. Because since they were a small company and that, and generally the electronics a lot of the time did fail in their early stuff. Their later stuff, though, was perfectly fine, up to characters in terms of the electronics in them. For example, none of the later radio-controlled Daleks I've seen were broken. Generally, all of them fully worked. And basically, if you buy a radio-controlled movie Dalek, as long as it's being, looked after, then it should work. By that point, which was basically at the end of the line, they'd basically sussed all of that stuff out by then. So yeah, Andy J, unfortunately, I can't bring Nathan in because Nathan wants to play on his Xbox. So yeah, he wants to play it online on his Xbox, so unfortunately I can't bring him in because he doesn't want to. Because that is more important. I mean, I'm not saying this is important, but Xbox on me anytime. This stream is just now. Doctor Who fan 2004 horror. Why do people sell the B&M sets for double the price? That's a very easy question to answer. People sell them for double the price and more because people pay double the price and more. That is literally the thing. People say, why do Scalpers charge so much? The reason is because people pay that much. If you look at ones that have sold on eBay, people are paying that much for them. If they weren't, then the Scalpers would lower the price, or there would be the one person who would they'd literally be sitting on eBay forever and a day. So that is why. That is why they sit. That is why, they're expensive on eBay, because people are paying that price. If people weren't willing to pay that price, then why? Because generally, a lot of the time, they all are around the same price. They're all around double, or just slightly more than that. So that is why that price is, because people do pay them. So really, you should get more annoyed with the people who do pay them, because that basically says to the scalper, yep, can continue to keep doing this and sell them, at double, triple the price, and because people will bloody buy them. And I really don't know why. Especially when they're still available in the bloody stores. I don't understand the people who go on being out and buy them when they're still in the stores. Now, I used to understand if you were like an American or an Australian, or you lived somewhere else and there wasn't a B&M, so you couldn't get them. There was no way of getting them unless you knew someone in England, in the UK, to ship them to you. But now they're available online in other countries. They're available on Amazon. You could have them imported to basically anywhere. So, Although saying that, the prices are bloody expensive. In Australia, the 5th Doctor TARDIS set is $80. 80 Australian dollars. That is 45 fucking pounds. So you can maybe see why. £45 for the 5th Doctor TARDIS if you want to buy it officially, not off eBay, off an official site in Australia. And it's the same with America. They're literally double the price they are here. Well, slightly more than double the price they are in B&M. It's just absolutely mental. So, yeah. I can see. I don't know why they're so excited, because normally the Australian stuff and American stuff is more expensive than they are in the UK, but not normally double the price. You know, normally they're a bit more expensive, like an extra £5 or maybe a tenner more, but not £25 more. That is just really bloody expensive. Anyway, Andy J says, are you releasing any new music soon? The answer to that is no, I'm not releasing any new music soon. I've had a 4th album in the works for literally planning for about a year or so now. Well, nearly 2 years, but nothing's being done about that. I just haven't had the time. But in terms of other stuff that is coming out, not yesterday, on Wednesday, I finished recording and editing the first chapter of my new Scooby-Doo audiobook, which will be coming out sometime this month, called Scooby-Doo and the Red Devil Demon. So if you're a fan of the first 4 Scooby-Doo direct-to-video films, like Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo and the Witches Go, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, and Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, then it's basically following on from then on. So it's a lot darker. So yeah, and I also last year did Scooby-Doo and the Zombie Island Civil War. So that's in the works on my other channel, So yeah. Doctor's Prime. Do you mean on email? Okay. What was that message that was removed before? I literally saw it before and I can't remember what it was. You into furries? Yes. That was a quick answer, but yes. I am. And I really don't care what people think. But I will tell anyone but my parents. Why? Because me and my family, we take the piss out of each other 100% of the time. Literally, it is a daily fucking thing. So I don't need to give them more fucking ammunition. Plus, it would have to be a fucking awkward conversation to explain to them what one was, and which type I was, and that the fact there was different bloody types. And it's just like, no, don't go that far. Enough. End of that. Oh god, my eyes are being really fucking itchy. I can barely see. Anyway, yeah, it's also weird how the Doctor Who YouTubers who normally get the figure sets, I got them before them. Well, some of them anyway. Which is really weird how you would have. I don't know why that. I don't know. They got sent them out, because normally what usually happens is that, you know, people like Batman March and others would get the figure sets sent out, you know, a month before that they actually come out, or a couple of weeks at least before they came out. But this time, no. This time they got them when B&M's got them. Well, some of them when some of them got them. So it is a bit weird. I mean, the only other person on YouTube so far that I've seen do a review on any of the new figures is Captain Jimmy Pie. There might be more people who have put up their reviews now, but in terms of Doctor YouTubers and that who have done reviews, yeah, that's the only one I can find so far. But let me know if there's some others since. I mean, there might be more literally while I'm doing this bloody live stream. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it just is a bit weird, because I thought the whole point of them was to give it some promotion. That's essentially, you know, the reason why they get sent them early for free, you know, so they can do their reviews and generate hype, and it's basically free advertising for the sets. But if you're going to do it when they're already out, by that point, you know, it's just like, what's the point by that stage? It's just a bit odd. So anyway, that's that, Nick. Could you get your parents on the stream? We can. Well, my parents will not go on YouTube. They will not go on YouTube, no. to be honest, my parents were dead set against me being on YouTube initially. Because I created the account back in 2011, and I just asked my dad. Because initially it was just like, I was mentioning it, and it's just like my mum said no, but my mum was out at the time, so I asked my dad, and he was like, yeah. And I created it and started uploading, but then they said some rules to me saying, you can't show your face or anything like that, don't show your face or let anyone know who you are. But obviously now that's changed, they don't give a shit what I do. They really don't give a shit what I do. And to be honest, nothing I can say to them will really surprise them. I have done so much weird shit in my time, and will continue to do, because that is literally just who I am. But you know, I will tell them as little as fucking possible, because I'm not giving them more ammunition for hate. Because you know, bit of a lack of trust in ways, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't trust them with my fucking bank account, for one. No chance. I mean, to be honest, none of us trust each other and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll go on. I highly doubt you will do that. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't appear on it anyway. I mean, to be honest, they haven't seen one of my videos in ages, but literally they think... They literally say to me... My mum literally said to me when I did the reviews yesterday, it's like, who's going to watch reviews of you... Who's going to watch a review of Doctor Who figures? And I was like, well, this many people did. But yeah, my parents find them utterly boring. Some of them they find so bad that they're good, in a way. But yeah, they don't find what I do interesting. Generally, they're not really interested in that. So yeah. What do you think of toothbrushes? Well, I have got an Oral-B battery-operated toothbrush that I use to brush my teeth. It works fine. It was a £5. End of discussion. Jacob, someone else. Hello, Scatman. I'm the Scatman. Yeah. I wish I was, but no, I'm not. Because you know, if I was a Scatman, I'd be bloody rich. I wonder what Zero Doctor Zero's job is, or Raven. I wonder what his job is. It clearly must be a well-paid job if he's able to afford is buying as many. I mean, I can't afford to buy that many, so it must be a well-paid job. Although he did win the lottery a few years ago, actually. Not the first prize, but he did win a lot. But he did end up spending it all. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah. God, I've been going for an hour and 23 minutes. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me? The answer is many things. And yeah. That's just kind of that. So, yeah, well, I'll probably say now, and people who have watched my live stream before, it's just like, you'll know this bit. I'll go... if you've got any more questions to ask me, then please ask them now. Otherwise, I will basically just end the stream in about 5 minutes' time. So, yeah, because, you know, otherwise it'd just be a load of rambling on for forever and a day. I mean, I have rambled as I've been on here the whole time, so, you know, if there's anything else you like to ask, it can literally be anything. As I said, it doesn't have to be Doctor Who related, but it can literally be anything. And also, also check me out on Twitter, which is when I post the latest updates on things. For example, I posted a picture of my B&M having the sets and that in and saying stuff like that. So yeah, what I'll do is, I don't think I've put the links to my Twitter in the thing before. So I'll do. There we go. So I'll put the link in my Twitter in the description, and I'll also put it in the chat. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that to keep with the latest updates on things. Other than that, yeah, that is pretty much it. Oh god, my throat is killing me. Yeah, dear me. So yeah, that's it for this live stream. I'm not sure when I'll do another one. To be honest, I probably won't for you. I don't know, might not be for a while yet. I mean, I was planning on doing this one. I was always planning on doing this one, but when the next one will be, don't know, maybe when we get the 12th Doctor Davros and East and that Imperial Dalek. Who knows? Who knows? Or if something else big happens, then I'll do a live stream then. But other than that, knick-knack paddywhack, yeah, that's basically kind of it. For this one. Also, I was really fucking annoyed, actually. A little bit, well, not that annoyed, but slightly annoyed. That literally the day after I got the Big Finish Asgard exclusive vinyl record that came out last Friday. Asgard actually put it on their website, which was really a bit irritating. But then again, I would have had to pay delivery. So, Also, should thank my dad for that one, actually, because he took me out, literally got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and literally got up and went like 6 o'clock in the bloody morning. Got to that Ascot bloody 6:30, and just to get it. So yeah, thank you to him. I will thank you to my dad, who literally he bloody will drive me fucking anywhere I need to go. So thank you to him. You like Silurian RFH5E says he likes Osama bin Laden. Okay, I don't personally, but okay. Whatever, as the kids say these days. Maybe. I don't bloody know. I don't know what the kids said when I was a bloody kid. I didn't understand what half the bloody things the kids in my class were saying half the time, because I didn't speak it. I didn't speak the lingo. I generally didn't use slang. Yeah. I mean, my parents make fun of my accent all the bloody time, including, well, all my family do basically make fun of my accent and the way I see things, because my family, I mean, to be honest, my family are a lot more Geordie than I am. I'm not really Geordie at all for the most part, but they are. I mean, they're not very Geordie. They are a bit. Generally, for the most part, they do speak, the standard English, but they are more Geordie than I am. But yeah, that's what I think. I'll finish on that. When my next video will be, I don't know. I might do a live stream on my birthday, because it's at the end of this month on the 30th. It'll be my 22nd, so might do a live stream or something then. Yeah, my birthday's the day before Halloween. Maybe that explains a lot. What do you think? Oh god. Anyway, this stream is just like limped on for the last 10 minutes. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.